by the way, is looking back to Kriens. And Luzerne, not too far away, just around the corner. Another illustration of the great Swiss railway network. It seems to arrive everywhere. Every little pass we drive over, every little mountaintop village seems to have a train station.
Yeah, Vreča has now decided that he's not going to come through anymore.
So it is all down to Jens Vogt. 51 seconds with 15 kilometres remaining. The gap has started to come down quite dramatically. One more sprint to go. Points to be handed out. This is at Hegersville. And just after coming through here, they'll turn left again onto the side of the lake once more. And it's into those familiar looking tunnels. 53 seconds now. Vreča does come through.
You can see the pace slowing up as soon as he gets through. He's really not got the power in the legs that Jensi's currently sitting with, and
the difference in cadence between the two as well.
Yeah, that as well. It's a lot of the time when you start getting that little bit more tired, you tend to go on bigger gears and sort of grind your way forward, which is completely the opposite to what you ideally should do. Because if you're struggling to turn the gears over, then riding on a higher cadence or turnover can get you to go that little bit quicker. But if you're getting to this point here now, and you've been out here for such a long period of time, you've gone through all the possibilities, and it's just grinding your way towards the finish. It's the only thing you got left in your mind.
Well, out there to take the third and final set of points was the man in the points jersey, or the sprint jersey I should say. Sprint and points jersey slightly different here at the Tour de Suisse. The blue jersey is Enrique Sanz-Unsue.
Bert Grabsch has taken a few big turns on the front now as well.
There he is, the man with the biggest thighs in cycling again. 49 seconds. Into those tunnels, there they are. Just under the motorway. Sort of B road and the motorway overlap each other. There's not too much room as the mountain sort of tends to drop into the lake on this side. And that is a wonderful shot. And again, this is where the headwind starts to hit you on this section.
Yeah, it just starts getting a little bit stronger. Obviously, in the tunnel itself, it doesn't tend to be that bad, but just as you get out of it and get through a town, it starts opening up a little bit, and that's where you will be struggling with a little bit of a headwind. I think that's going to be the biggest problem for Jensi and Vreča now is the fact that they're having to battle with the wind as well, and looking at the guys behind them, they're pretty committed to bringing them back quite sharpish, I think. Certainly looking at how big a turn Bert Grabsch was doing, and the effort that he put into it.
Well, it's working. Another 15 seconds has gone very quickly in the space of a kilometre or two. 45 seconds is now the gap. I shot as Patrick Gretsch as well, doing some work on the front. A couple of people taking the wrong way around the roundabout.
Yeah, it's
quite a tight one, not the one you want to take the wrong way around at that speed as well. Again, the gap still continues to go down. 41 seconds. Left now again, another roundabout coming up. But Grabsch still on the front, just peels off to allow Kevin de Vet through. And behind him is Christophe van der Valler as well. And the number 4 in that Belgian national champions jersey, Tom Bonen, waiting not too far behind. The way in. "36 seconds, in fact the seconds really being sawn off now. I get the feeling it's not going to be too long that they're left to hang out there.
No, 10 kilometers in 36 seconds is a pretty good advantage still. It's if there's a little bit of hesitation in the peloton, you know, this could go down to the wire in terms of whether these guys stay away or whether they get caught. At the moment, I would say they'll probably get caught around about 4 kilometers to go.
Well, a renewed effort by Vretz, who flicks his arm, wants Jens to come through again. Look at that face. Teeth gritted, power being put out. And there's confirmation of what we saw. Heggersville, the second sprint for the blue jersey. I told you Enrique Sanz had come through. And that is in fact true. 6-3 and 1 respectively. Inside those final 10 kilometres. The moment on the section of land in between the two lakes.
Some neutral service cars just gone through there as well to clear the way for the peloton. They've actually lost a second here now, the peloton itself. Come back out to 37.
Well, Belgian flag flies by the side of the road. We've seen plenty of campers out, plenty of fans out. I can tell you as well that DD the Devil is in town. We'll see him on the mountain stages later on this week. The minute, though, it's all about setting up the sprint, and we are inside the final 10 kilometres. Stans is the latest town to be passed through. And again, reorganisation of timing is great. Everybody's finished work, everybody's watching on the side of the roads, and when the weather's like this, it is a winning formula. 33 seconds from Jens Vogt and Robert Vetzer of Radio Shack and Euskaltel, all the way back to a chasing, very, very hungry set of sprinters. Now then, oh dear, this is not good at all. I can tell you right now on race radio, there are people shouting all down through our ears.
Yeah, they just want to make sure that they get these cars off on the way so they're not actually causing any problems for the riders. But it looks like they've been able to hold on the pressure and maybe even been dragged along a little bit by the cars and motorbikes trying to clear it. But with the corners coming up as well, you know, they need to really give it some throttle here. Just to stay away from these two guys.
Well, bizarre to think how that could happen so late into the race. And
well,
look at that, Jens is not happy.
No, because of the he thinks he's going to get stopped up here now, and with 32 seconds, you know, and only 10 kilometers to go, it's difficult to do anything. If the race has been incredibly fast, you know, they try and work out the timings for these railways so that you come
Swiss timing, remember?
Swiss timing as well, yeah. So if the race has been fast, then obviously you're coming up early to railway junction, and that can cause a problem. Or if it's been slow, then again you can end up in the same kind of issue. So it's difficult for the organisers to really get this right.
Well, just about negotiated with the trains. Let's hope the planes don't have the symbol problem that we mentioned earlier. Peloton following in at 30 odd seconds behind. They've made it safely across the level crossing too. 32 seconds, 8 kilometres. These are those turns that you mentioned, Magnus. Right at the back of the peloton now. Against the Lachlan Morton wearing number 65 for Garmin. Just being dragged in. And a big long line. Now Roman Kreuziger riding close to the front.
Yeah, obviously wanting to help out Daniele Benatti a little bit, but also keep himself out of trouble through these twists and turns in the villages. So not a bad idea to get up there. But like we said, you know, Benatti's going to need a bit of help, and he does actually have quite a good team around him to...
He's got lead-out man extraordinaire Matteo Tossato in the team.
Yeah, I mean, Tossato's been very good throughout the years to do the lead-out itself. Matti Brescioli's certainly quick enough to be able to put a good turn of speed in. So, yeah, good to see that Kreuziger is, you know, opening the throttle a little bit, even on the flat stage.
Yeah, he's not just hiding away, he's helping his team. He's had enough help of them over the last couple of days, so why not repay the favour? 31 seconds, stabilising quite nicely for those two in front at the minute. Again, it was coming down very, very sharpish for 5-10 kilometres, and suddenly that little concerted effort from the two.
Yeah.
And this is going on behind, all sorts of different teams happening. Look, they're all bunched up a little bit more now. It was stretched out a minute ago. And that's most likely a result of a bit of headwind.
Yeah, it just makes it that little bit easier to bunch up when as soon as you get a little bit of a sit, you don't have to sit straight behind the rider in front of you to get that little bit of draft, you know. And with that, the whole bunch kind of just becomes that much shorter. Looking, you know, Mega Pharma Quick Step, they're certainly wanting to put the pressure on here now and bring this back very quickly indeed. 6 kilometers to go and still 28 seconds. This is going to come down right to the wire.
Well, we had it sent across to us on Twitter. Underestimate the man at your peril. And here he is. 27 seconds now. Robert Vretzer playing his part as well. Now over the bridge they will go. 6 kilometers from the line.
Watch out for Jensi having a go soon.
So this is where the crosswind effort comes in, and here comes Jens Vogt. You called it perfectly, Magnus. Jens has gone. 5 Ks to go. A little bit of crosswind here. He knew that was coming, and Vretzer cannot live with him. Now then, he has the airport on the right. Once he turns right again, it's back into the headwind, but the advantage has gone. The damage probably already done, and Vretzer looks broken.
Oh, Vretzer's got no chance of coming back on that one. I mean, Jensi's is that much stronger, and he's seen the opportunity here now to go. 21 seconds, 5 kilometers to go. It's going to be a tall order for him, but if anyone can pull it off, it's the big Jensi.
21 seconds, back into the headwind. Neutral service car just behind him, and look at this, stretched out. The peloton really putting the hammer down themselves as well.
Well, they have to, you know, with 5k to go and it's 19 seconds. It's they're leaving it late.
Very, very late indeed. Kreuziger still fourth wheel.
Orica Green Edge up here now. O'Grady in second wheel. Kreuziger still up there as well, helping out. And behind them, you can see there's Baden Cook and a Matt Harley-Goss sitting right on the last wheel of the Orica Green Edge train.
Baden Cook, who was sprinting here for Orica Green Edge last year. I think he took second on one stage.
Yeah, you've got to remember, Baden Cook is the former winner of the green jersey. He's certainly a very, very fast man indeed.
Deluxe lead-out man, as Jens Vogt is 20 seconds ahead. 4 kilometers to go now, less really for Jens. He's gone through that banner, and this is looking interesting. Look, the gap is growing again. Briefly up to 21. What a ride this is from Jens Vogt.
Yeah, you can see, you can almost see the finish line now. 4 kilometers to go. You know, it's going to be tight.
Well, after all the talk of sprints, remember last stage he won in Tour of California, it was down to be a sprint stage. Look at the difference here now. Right-hand turn to come, and he will go into town. Look at the speed they're going as well. 70 kilometers per hour being knocked out there by Jens against the wind. Lachlan Morton hanging on at the back.
Yeah, they're certainly they're putting everything they got into this now. 15 seconds has come down to around about 3 kilometers to go.
O'Grady eases off on the right hand side. Garmin coming up on the left. Remember, Tyler Farrar want to be put in. He's one of the only men who's been able to beat Sagan. 3 kilometers for the peloton as Vretzer now is pulled up. 12 seconds is the advantage that Jens Vogt has. Mega Pharma Quick Step. Sky putting a couple of jerseys to the front as well now.
Saxo Bank coming up on the left-hand side of the road as well, but they're having to jump up onto the pavement to get themselves through.
Jens Vogt looking behind, looking and starting to look a little tired now.
Yeah, I can see the 2 kilometer go banner up there in the distance.
It's been a great, great effort. 6 seconds, I'm afraid that gap is going down and down and down. And I think that's the moment that even he might realise he is broken. One last effort, Jensi, go on. Everybody around the world willing this man on. Back on the bars. The height of effort, mouth wide open. Look at that effort face. It's a picture in itself. 4 seconds, but I'm afraid that for Jensi, that is it.
Yeah.
And we're just about to get the expected sprint. Saxo Bank, with plenty of work being done, and a lot of it by Roman Kreuziger, pulling on the front of the peloton. Well done, Jens Vogt, though. One of the rides of the season in the breakaway.
Yeah, it certainly is.
So Sky, Bernie Eitel, Gabriel Rasch, and Lotto coming to the front. You mentioned Kenny de Haas might want to go. Big right turn here, and it gets a little complicated now into town.
Yeah, just a little bit. The last sort of 450 meters are quite difficult. Just a shame that the Sky Trainer got sort of separated. You got the two guys on the front, Bernie Eisel, and couldn't quite make out who that was. And then a little bit further down is Matt Heyman. So.
Oh, the rider was the former Norwegian champion Gabriel Rasch, in fact, in second place. Sagan coming up. Bonen is down behind on the wheel of Ben Swift.
Yeah, it's...
And Guarnieri as well, up there, as well as Enrico Gasparotto. Sagan, isolated at the minute for Cannondale, but he only needs himself, really, if he finds the right wheel. Goss is still looking good, as is Daniele Benati. And inside the final kilometre. Couple of riders peel off for Saxo Bank. Benati is all on his own now. Tyler Farrar trying to make his way up there. Heinrich Hausler getting in the right place. And look, Arnaud Demar for Francis Desjeux has a man in front of him as well. It's still Orica Greenedge, though, controlling the situation.
Yeah, they're looking good here. 500 metres to go now. One big turn. And then it's all about up to Goss.
I think it's Degenkolb who's in there as well for Argos Shimano. Christoph there or thereabouts too. Sagan is way back here as it comes to 200 metres to go. Perhaps they've got to go early here. Farrar getting boxed out a little by Arnaud Demar, and Matt Harley-Goss is leading this one out. Goss out there, but it's Demar who's come round him. Goss against Demar. It's Goss who goes. Goss! But it's Demar just about pushing his wheel over in the middle. It's he who raises his arms. That was a sprint that went back, forward, all the way to the line. You said, Magnus, they had to go early. Sagan and Farrar found themselves boxed in. And it is Arnaud Demar. Strength, yet again, just as he showed at the start of last month. And at the start of this month. This is a man who is maturing into a very, very decent sprinter indeed.
He certainly is, but you got to say as well... The way we're talking about this sprint happening was that you needed to go just before the corner and basically go on the inside, and with that, you know, you got to make everyone else go the long way around. And Arden Mar just timed it perfectly. Gossi was just a little bit late to respond. If he'd gone 20 metres earlier, I think we would have had a completely different outcome on that sprint. But, you know, awesome ride by Arnaud Demar.
Well, Demar got himself in front. Goss trying to come round again. Perhaps... very interesting to think what happened with the gear combinations there as well on the downhill.
Yeah, it may very well be that as well. You know, getting the right selection of gearing, and if you have to go the long way around on the corner, then it's never really it's never easy to find that sort of right way around it, and you might have to brake that a little bit more than you thought in the beginning. But you know, Gossi was coming so strong in the end as well. I mean, he's very, very quick on those short accelerations, and I almost thought he was going to have it.
Perfect team job done by Orica Greenedge, I have to say.
Yeah.
But Demar had company. They appeared out of nowhere, really, in the end, in the last 500 metres or so. We're impressed with this man down at the 4 days of Dunkirk last month. And this is the sprint again, Magnus. Orica Greenedge still with two men up the front. Tyler Farrar in a very good position too.
Yeah, Tyler's waiting, he's waiting, and then Arnaud Demar goes here, he gets straight through that. It's a very, very gutsy move he does. Causes a bit of problem for Tyler Hamilton. Gossi's come the long way around, and he's good 5-6 metres off the back of him, and 150 metres to the finish line. You know, that's never an easy gap to close down on someone as fast as Arnaud Demar.
Arnaud Demar from Matt Harley-Goss, and in third place, Tyler Farrar. Good position for him. There's that photo finish. Certainly looked closer from behind the line. Around a third of the wheel in the end. And a punch of the air from the Frenchman, who's improving all the time.
You can see on Arnaud Demar as well, the way he went through the gap between himself, the barrier, like between the barriers and Tyler Farrar. That is not a gap that anyone will go through, that's for sure. Certainly not with Tyler Farrar, who's got a sprinting style which is quite wide elbowed. If you clip his elbow, then you're likely to cause all sorts of crazy stuff. But you know, he squeezed through it. He was very, very assertive in his move, and you know, again, a perfectly timed effort.
Demar then winning. Degenkolb, Christoph Hausler, Sagan, de Bussere, Chimolai and Guarnieri with the men up the front. Certainly interesting to see Guarnieri there without the man he's been trying to lead out recently. Again, this is it from the other angle. Sagan going wide and almost against the barriers there. Those who took the inside line, resulting with the best run into the line. Bonen way down, you can see in that Belgian champions jersey as well. Chimolai is in the pink there, the men we mentioned who just snipped inside the top 10. But it's between these two, and these two only really. And Arnaud Demar picking up yet another victory. They've got some great sprinting talent at the minute in France. Great to see the likes of him, Brian Coca, and of course Nasser Bouhanni. Bouhanni and Demar as well, both riding for the same team.
Yeah, to me, I think Demar is the better sprinter out of him and Bouhanni, and certainly a lot more of a correct sprinter than Bouhanni is.
Fifth win on the road this season for Arnaud Demar. 3 stages of the 4 days of Dunkirk. He won the Grand Prix de Denain as well. And as well in Dunkirk, he took the points classification, young rider classification, and the overall, just about everything. So you add those up, and that is 8 wins this season for the man. 5th on the road, and the first for him in his history in the Tour de Suisse. Matthias Frank still leads the race. We didn't expect any changes whatsoever at the top here today, but everybody getting there safe, which is good news. Kreuziger, Rui Costa, Visconti, Pino, Mollema, Martin, Kanger, Perrault, and Van Gordon all making out the top 10. Or the cloud and rain slowly changing to sunlight. We're hoping to see that as the week goes on. Better forecast for the next few days. Heat and sunshine coming. He'll be looking forward to that. A few more of those tan lines developing. He's getting himself scrubbed up and ready to talk to us as well, Arnaud Demar. And I'm sure that he's going to be pretty happy about what happened. There's a smile from Tom Bonen, despite being caught up just around the top 20, rather in the top 2 or 3 as he thought. But he's a man who has been improving since his comeback as well, and I'm sure we'll see more of the former world champion as the week goes by. And is that good? We'll watch it again.
Yeah, no, it is a good sprint, you know, and I'm more impressed by the way he anticipated that corner.
It was all about that. You called it earlier on in the day. It was the key to having the best position into the final few hundred metres. You can see it is downhill, as we were describing during that broadcast. And you're right, perhaps finish line with another 30 centimetres down the road, and Matt Goss wins that one.
Yeah, certainly another 10 metres, and Goss would have had it. You know, he was coming back at Arnaud Demar very, very quickly indeed, and you know, it's spinning class going on.
A bit of spinning class indeed for Matthias Frank. I hope he didn't hear you say that.
No, it's one of these things, you know, where after a big effort, if you shut it down and walk straight onto the bus and sit down, your legs just don't recover quite as well going into the next day. So just spending another 5-10 minutes just slowly winding down and sort of pedaling all the pedaling your legs out a little bit, then you'll certainly feel a lot better the next day. It's not something that you really fancy doing as a bike rider straight after the finish and sitting yourself on a turbo trainer, but you know, it helps that much that you know, a lot of the bigger teams and bigger riders are now starting to do that.
Oh, we told you, a lot of people waiting to watch. We have Rui Costa fans all over. You can see Martin Kohler just talking to a couple of journalists and a few fans around as well. Popular man as the Swiss national champion. Great attendance, beautiful weather. Have stage finishes at this time every day for me. Not always easy for the riders, though, as you were saying yesterday.
No, it's not. You know, they get back to the hotel quite late, and massage ends up dragging on a little bit. You know, dinner gets a little bit later, but then again, if you got a line in the morning, then most of the time it's okay. You know, speaking to a couple of the guys at I Am Cycling this morning, you know, they said it's a bit long to wait before the finish.
Okay, let's go and hear from Arnaud Demar. He's waiting down there with Barbara Colpi at the finish line. Spectacular sprint, Armand. How was it? Well, it was a delicate arrival, a difficult one. Alfredo Bonny really worked hard for me though. And it was not easy all day long actually. But in the last 25 kilometres we worked hard, we pulled the gap back. There was a lot of competition, you know, all the names that are on there, Sagan and everybody else. So I'm very happy to have won this one. What does it mean for you? Well, it's the start of the second part of the season for me. I did a lot of classics. And I think I learned quite a lot in my experiences this year. And of course, with the 4 days of Dunkirk and Dinard, I did really well. But to win here on the Pro Tour is brilliant. "21-year-old Arnaud Demar, victorious on stage 4 of the Tour de Suisse. The man who comes from just outside Paris in Beauvais, with win number 5 of the season, and the first one on the World Tour this year."
Okay, nice little sledge.
We've had cowbells, now it's sledge time. Unique prizes handed out in the Tour de Suisse, it's good to see. And I'll get a block of cheese, as we always do as well in this part of the world. Philippe Grumont is there to hand in the cheese. A very happy winner, Arnaud Demar. So much more to come from him. Only his second full season at Française des Jeux. He was a stagiaire in 2011. Last year had some great results, winning a stage in Qatar. Vattenfall Cycle Classics, a Samhain as well. Race that you've won before.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have come along to see a man in yellow that is of Swiss nationality. We'll see that in a moment. This is the top 10 on the day first, though. Arnaud Demar from Matt Goss, Tyler Farah, John Degenkolb and Alexander Kristoff. We said that Kristoff might be up there. Good to see Degenkolb sprinting despite talking himself down, and in the end, if he has been at altitude and hasn't been racing much on the flat, 4th place is a very good result from that sprint. The cameras are ready. This man is ready, and for the second day in succession, we're about to see Matthias Frank, Swiss leader of the Tour de Suisse, and a very happy one at that. He maintains his advantage of 23 seconds. Another day in yellow for him then. Tomorrow we head to Leugen. He'll be hoping that he'll be on the podium again for a 3rd successive day. I think if the profile is taken as it should be, there shouldn't be too many problems or obstacles in his way, but you never know. All it takes is a crosswind and some sensible racing. But Matthias Frank hoping to be in yellow for the next few days until the mountain challenges come towards the end of this week. Been climbing well though. There's no reason why he isn't a big candidate to win this race.
No, I think he's looked very good on the mountains and that we've had so far, and you know, I reckon he's up there in terms of being a favourite. It's going to be down between him and Kreuziger. I think maybe Da Costa as well, but I think more so Kreuziger is going to be the big threat.
Well, Bauke Mollema will be regretting those 20 seconds penalised. Takes him over a minute from the leader. Arnaud Demar is now leading the points classification. He'll be wearing the polka dot jersey tomorrow. Takes it off Bauke Mollema. So a new top he gets to wear tomorrow. Added to that stage win today makes it a very, very happy one indeed.
Yeah, it's different points on the different stages. There's 15 points for winning a mountaintop finish, and it's 25 points for winning a flat stage, hence why he overtakes Bauke Mollema.
Peter Sagan's finish takes him within 1 point as well, just to 24.
Yeah, and then Mollema 23 points.
So there it is. 25 for De Maar, Sagan in second, Mollema, Frank and Heinrich Hausler, the Australian, with 20, again finishing well today. Third day in succession for Enrique Sanz, just about hangs on to his win in the blue jersey. He's 4 points now ahead of Robert Vretse, who took plenty of points today. Jens Vogt in third place. And a very happy time for Enrique Sanz Unsue. We talked about Robert Vretse, we will see him in just a moment. The glory of the day in the points classification for Arnaud De Maar, and in the sprints, Enrique Sanz Unsue. Enrique Sanz then 4 ahead of Robert Vretse, Vogt in third, Hidden Ralston in fourth, the Kiwi, with Nicky Terpstra, Dutch champion, joint place in fourth there too. Weather just getting better all the time, and it's turned into a rather pleasant evening here in Boix. Certainly even more pleasant for those who've taken victory and the honours here today too. One more jersey left to present today. And a man who will be swapping orange for red tomorrow. And it's Euskaltel Euskadi's King of the Mountains as it stands after stage 4. Robert Vretse of Slovenia. And of course, King of the Mountains, always a jersey that carries more points and more value than any, I think, given the team that he's riding for. Always something that Euskaltel will be looking to pick up. Puts the cap on, the sunglasses too, just to keep the sponsors happy. And Robert Vretse in red for tomorrow's stage 5. His lead, a decent one, ahead of Roman Kreuziger. Vretse crowning all of the 3 classified climbs today, thus now on 19 points. Oh, and he makes some friends as well while he's at it. So, a confirmation of what's happening in the Gran Premio della Montagna. King of the Mountains with Vretse ahead of Kreuziger and Vogt. Let's look ahead to tomorrow. Halfway through the Tour de Suisse, and we go right to the very north of the country. We leave Boix, where the riders will stay tonight, up through Kriens, the town that we've just negotiated, around 20 kilometres from the arrival today. Passing a couple more lakes. It's nice and flat into Verlen as well. And we've got a circuit finish tomorrow. That's after we've gone through Windisch, twice around a 4th category climb, and in to Leugen, where we'll have the finish as well. So Turkish 2 circuit laps, 4 categorised 4th category climbs in total. We go to Leugen on stage 5 of the Tour de Suisse. First though, let's have a look what happened on stage 4.